website to incentivize members to start going to the website for information, sort of increase activity on that front. And in that capacity, I'm going to elect to share my screen with you. To give you a little background about myself, my name is Sandy Schmieder. I work with ClubSoft clients on the web and marketing front. In particular, my background over the last decade has been web development, marketing websites, interfaces, and so on. And over the years, I've come to collect a lot of ideas from various clubs all over the world in terms of how they are generating activity on their website and getting their members to sort of come back again and again. And I sort of bulleted out just a kind of a brief PowerPoint to walk us through some of those ideas and kind of start some of those conversations. Atypical from what I normally do with our bite-sized learning classes, normally I will mute all the phone lines and really just open the call up for questions periodically. Because this is really a different style of agenda, we're not training on a particular task or piece of functionality in the system, I'm actually going to leave the phone lines open. I'd really like this to be more of a discussion call. Feel free as we're going through any of these points in this PowerPoint to ask for more information, throw out adjacent ideas, etc. This is really an opportunity for us to share ideas, share information, and in the end, come out with more information and more ideas about how to make our presence on the web more successful. So jumping into the first slide, step one, it sounds so simple, it's build a website worth visiting. You want to create your brand, your club culture online that your members can identify with and that's easy for them to get to and obviously something they want to return to. Step one, pick a domain that's easy to remember. It sounds so simple, but we've got a lot of clubs out there that are selecting really difficult or very lengthy URLs, and you want something that's going to be very, very simple and easy to remember. I know Elizabeth with the Briar Club is on the line. Elizabeth, you guys have a great URL. It's thebriarclub.com. You can't miss it. That's a great example of something that is very easy for members to remember. Additionally, you want to brand your website, and this is something that I would say typically on a yearly or on a every 2 years you want to take a look at your website and potentially update the style or the graphics, just like we evaluate our brochure for the club, we evaluate our letterhead, those type of documents for the club. You always want your website to fall in line with that basic branding, with that image. It is a very low cost, a very real-time way to update that style. And it's something that you definitely want to visit on an annual basis. You want people to go to your website and understand what type of culture you have. A couple of great examples. For the most part, in terms of branding the website, a photo is worth 1,000 words. When I go to club websites that are very family-centric, very family-friendly, the pictures that appear on their website are typically ones that have members in them. They're from events. They're showing kids at movie night. They're showing families at the annual Halloween picnic. They're showing very family-centric images versus some of our clubs that are a little bit more private, a little more exclusive. They're doing the pictures of the facilities and the grounds. They're both beautiful ways to brand the club. They're both obviously great pictures that express sort of what amenities you offer, but the selection of those images play a big part in branding your website and making it something that members and even prospects are going to identify with. Alongside that, kind of adjacent, is the create a good first impression. When as a visitor, when I go to your website initially, I want to have that that wow factor. A lot of times we'll go to websites today. There's a single page with some text, maybe a picture, and that's all that's available. The rules have really changed for the web over the past, I'd say even the past few years. Back a decade ago, clubs were really sensitive about their 501(c)(7) tax status and very concerned about putting information publicly and it being considered marketing that could affect their status. Nowadays, there's a lot of information that we're expected to put up publicly that certainly fall in line and don't conflict with that status. Things like the map and directions, things like amenities, things like just a basic membership page where they can fill out information and send a request for more details. It's really, I think, portrayed more now as a contemporary communication tool and not necessarily just a marketing tool. So creating a great first impression for prospects and guests to your club can have a really powerful impact on just your image and your branding in general. The fourth sort of bullet I have in this list is to reassure your members that your site is secure. It's becoming very popular for most of our ClubSoft clients, at least, to offer online bill payment services. Our users today are much more savvy than they were 10 years ago. They're looking for that lock symbol in that browser. They're looking for that security certificate. And while it's not something that's required for websites, it is something that we encourage. It's a fairly low-cost certificate. Normally, you will pay for it annually or for multiple years at a time. And having that security certificate in place on your server puts that lock. We can put that, secured by a VeriSign, those types of images that members are used to seeing on secure websites, whether it's something like their American Express credit card site, PayPal, etc. You want to have those same insignias, those same security settings in place. If you have a question about setting up an SSL certificate, shoot an email to support@clubsoftusa.com. We do a lot of security certificates, and we have a tech in-house that can help. Basically, there's a number of security firms out there that provide these certificates. VeriSign is the most well-known. It also tends to be the most expensive. There's another company called Comedix that's an excellent alternative. And you fill out your application, say this is my website, this is how we secure it, and they do a quick little check. They provide a key to you once they verify that you are who you say you are the Briar Club, you are a real organization. And it's really an entire process that takes probably a week or less. So setting that up is very worthwhile and certainly something that I think all clubs should consider as they're trying to make their website more involved and more member-friendly. The fifth sort of bullet item I hear is to complete search engine optimization. Although technically we may not be using our public website to market, we still want people to be able to find us very easily, whether they're typing in a city, golf, private club, those words in a search engine like Google or Yahoo or otherwise. And completing some search engine optimization is a very easy way to make sure that your club gets put at the top of that search results list. It's a pretty simple process. Basically, we have the ability for you to provide a number of keywords. There's really two things you can provide. One is a title or description of your club. So as an example, ABC Country Club is a private club that offers golf, tennis, and squash facilities to members in New York, New York. It needs to be, that title needs to be 100 characters or less, so it needs to be basically just a single statement of who you are and what you do. The second thing you want to put together is a list of keywords, and this is something that can be as long as you want. We have some clubs that have 20, we have some clubs that have 200. Those keywords are going to be things that people might, sounds like I need to mute someone's line, sorry about that, guys. Okay. Those keywords will be things that people will typically fill in a Google or a Yahoo search engine. Those are the words that we want to be able to enter and have your club come up. So things like golf, tennis, children's programs, weddings, spa services, anything like that that might be appropriate. In those keywords, you always want to include your city, your state, your club name, etc. By providing those two things, that 100-character title and then the keywords that you like, we have the ability to insert that code into sort of the back end of the website. It takes all of about 2 minutes on our side, And in that case, you really start to get some optimization on those search engines. And we've had a number of clubs take advantage of that. The hardest part is really just putting together that list of keywords. The next item on our list is talking again about building a website. Many clubs elect to form a website committee and have those members either prior to going live with the site or even just 3 months or a year after going live, have those members go into the website and really take note of what they like, what they don't like, what information might be confusing, what information they wish was easier to locate, those types of details. By getting their feedback, getting a fresh perspective on your website, you really can help to optimize it. And then you've got this group of members that are very vested in your website. They can really continue on, not just from an evaluation standpoint, but to go out and be sort of ambassadors to the remaining membership about, hey, you know, we just updated the website. You should really see it. So you want to be somewhat selective in that website committee. You can choose members that are very web savvy, those that maybe are not, in addition to those real champions or ambassadors for the club, those guys that are going to start the buzz among the membership and really get your members involved. The last item on this particular step 1 process is incorporating value-rich content. Again, members are looking for more than just a phone list and the dining menu on the website. They want to be able to go in and do things. Having a member poll that they can answer weekly, being able to view and pay their statement online, being able to access real-time charges, update their profile, fill out forms online, etc. Those are all ways that we make our website very value-rich and again, more interactive for members. Having content that's going to be really appropriate, that content that you're always getting the phone calls for. What's the special of the day? What's the format for the golf tournament this Friday? By putting that on the website, making that information available 24/7, you're really building a website that's worth visiting. Before I continue to step 2, any questions on any of these points?